Morning, y'all. Ooh. Mm. Uh-oh. Make your calls. That's not what I want to do. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Give me 1 second. Let me let these folks on TikTok know. Because y'all know they blocked us for a week. We didn't even say nothing. We wasn't even on there that long. You heard me? Wait a minute. Good morning. We wasn't even on there. I said they don't want you talking about the Mormons for sure. And what they talking about in the UK. Because these folks talking real crazy on TikTok. But y'all know they always gonna mess with us though. We live on YouTube. Y'all know where to find us. CERCA TROVA 22. Bye. And is I don't do none of these hashtags no more or nothing. Interesting. Maybe that's why. Who knows? Um, Give me a second, y'all. I ain't used to doing hashtags no more, so I don't be posting nothing. I'm all. There we go. I don't know, but I'm sure they're gonna start doing a lot of stuff. Y'all realize how September, hey Queen, y'all realize how September the 13th is doing a lot of stuff? September is when we gotta start uploading our IDs to the internet. September in the UK, they gotta start using their IDs to go in the grocery store. September is when the folks think Jesus is on his way back. What? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Huh? Am I? Maybe I am. I don't know. Cause it's real crazy. You hear me? Real crazy. I said, well, September is gonna be a very interesting month. Do you hear me? You hear me? Yeah, I'm serious. Think about this, y'all. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Huh? It's important. Those three things together, y'all, are serious. By December, it could be real different around here. In real life. It's real spooky where we at right now. I was talking to y'all nephew last night and I'm like, hey, we are in different times. All together 100%, we are in different times. In real life. It's nuts. It is very spooky. And what's really crazy, listen. I said, okay. It has. It definitely has. I mean, think about it. What is today? Today the 28th. We have less than 15, 16 days. You said September 8th is my birthday. I'm praying for miracles and blessings. That part, I got you, Sean. Do you know, I tried to call one of my other mothers, we'll call her one of my other mothers, and tell her what was going on. Do y'all know the phone started messing up to where she couldn't even hear me? And then it just dropped the call. I called her back, and she was like, the devil doesn't want me to hear this, whatever it is. Do y'all know the call wouldn't even go through after that? This is the mom that I had the Bible study with recently, and the light bulb came on. You heard me? So I'm trying to call her and tell her what's going on in the UK with this whole grocery stuff. Enemy was like, yep, not today. I bet you won't. She said, that's crazy. I said, it's crazy too. I totally believe you, my brother that lives in Cali. And I be talking about what's going on, and the internet always drops the call and can't reconnect. Girl, she in Texas. She is in Texas. So that's crazy. You said I'm blessed, but these things just feel weird lately. It's eerie. There is a very eerie feeling. Very. Yep. Very, very, very. Very. You know, I was talking into this phone, so I didn't spell your name right. Uh-oh. It's all right. Listen. So, facts, I was trying to talk to my daughter, and the lights were going on and off. You said, and she has come to the Lord and has been hit hard with spiritual attacks. Oh, I believe it. Listen, and static in the phone too. Yeah. That part, Trina, and does. So, you said yesterday you couldn't make calls or use it? Hey, Pumpkin. I was talking to y'all nephew last night, right? And I said, interesting. I said, next month would be the 43rd month that this man has been out, right? It would be the 43rd month that he's been out. It's crazy how many people are still clueless, and when you try to tell them, they don't want to hear it or they think you're crazy. Baby, listen, that's what I was... Yeah, that right there. That's why I said I was trying to call my godmother and tell her, you know, one of my other mothers, hey, they're starting to make people get their ID, you know, show their IDs. You said most of them really don't want to hear it. Do you see yeah, it's so many things. Because we talked about this, and I don't want to keep saying that, but we did. Everybody wants to be in denial because they want to keep doing what they want. Who sees why CERCA used to be a little irritated in the beginning when people used to come in my class and be telling people, what, come on, Queen, what wasn't going to happen? Who, y'all remember people used to come in my class in the beginning of this and tell us, you don't need to listen to her. That's not going to happen. She don't know what she's talking about. And I used to be irritated and tell them, get out of my class. If you want your family to go through craziness, okay, that's fine. But don't come in here trying to stop nobody else from getting ready. Don't try to stop nobody else from getting ready. You said it's like they expect. You said, oh, like in Noah times, it's like they're expecting to see a being in red with horns coming out of his head. I told my niece to seriously start getting her stuff. She told me God got her 6 with 5 under 5. Just experienced this morning when you're trying to get a money order. Interesting. Yep, I agree. That's exactly what they're doing. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. Those who have eyes and ears for the truth. Come on, Jesus have been brought to the knowledge of what's happening. Listen. Folks, the most diabolical part of it is this. The Jews, the crazy Christians, they all are expecting Jesus to show up around the 23rd or the 24th of next month. Even though he said nobody knows the day nor the hour when he's going to come. And the fact that the Antichrist, that will be, do y'all realize he came out around the 24th of April? Of March of 2022. He came out around the 24th. And now they're saying that the 23rd or the 24th of next month, Jesus is on his way back. Huh? Is you getting this? The Jews and the Christians that's not paying attention is saying the same thing, that they supposed to see they Messiah. So if and when on the 23rd of next month they bring out Yanuka, that's what I'm saying. Think about it. And next month is the month that we got to start using our ID for everything. Right before the 13th, the 12th, the 13th, and he coming out 10 days later, 11. I mean, I don't know if they're going to bring him out for sure or not. But it's lining up. And I can't say what's going to happen because I don't know for sure exactly how. But it's so crazy that the Christians are expecting Jesus to come back. Some of them, not all. On the 23rd or the 23rd or 24th the next month. And the Jews are lining some stuff up too. And we got to start, in UK, you got to start putting your ID in a grocery store 11 days, 12 days before that. Over here, to get online in certain things, gaming and whatnot, we are going to have to put our ID up. All of this is happening 10 days before they expecting to see Christ come back, y'all. People are being heavily deceived, and it's spooky. Come on, Queen. You said this is the 3rd or 4th time they said the rapture would happen. Yeah, but this different. Because it's lining up with some other stuff. They're not in my... Listen, you said there go, that not, I mean, just, are y'all picking up what I'm putting down in the basket? That's absolutely mind-boggling. You said, and how many will be disappointed and turn away because it doesn't happen? Or they're going to buy into Jesus showed up in Jerusalem to stop all that's going on in Gaza. Listen, listen, listen. The Christ they expecting ain't the one they think it is. But remember, God said that that was going to happen. Remember, he said that it was going to happen. He literally said that it would happen like this. That they was going to receive the Antichrist. They was going to do it. You see? Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. What the heck? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, everybody that I might have missed. Sorry, y'all. You said because they don't even know the sacrifices happen already. They ain't gonna know it's they gonna think you said so they ain't gonna think it's him. Listen. So you saying they don't even know that the sacrifices happen, so they not gonna think it's the Antichrist? You said for this reason God will send a powerful delusion so that they will believe a lie. Ooh! And so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth because they delighted in wickedness. Ooh! 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 You said people believe what the pastors and the news say over the word of God. Ooh! Where is my... Come on, class. You said I got the best class in the world. Go on and bop them in the head then. Do it. Here. Put your hand in there. You got to put your hand in there. And then you got to do like this. Because y'all tearing their tails up this morning. Here. You said I was finished reading Enoch. And I was shocked to hear what he had to say as he was about to leave before God came. Everything he said is we dealing with it now, right? You said I got a notification saying Kroger's is going to be laying off 1,000 employees and they're closing in 60 stores in the next 18 months. Let me take a picture of that. It's crazy. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Hey, Mari. You said this morning at work, a man said his son trying to live his life? Huh? What do you mean? What you mean? Interesting. They closing 60 Kroger stores. They didn't close the whole bunch of Walmarts. They close out the Family Dollars. And you know a lot of people grocery shop in Family Dollar. No. They close in Kroger's and Albertsons. Excuse me. I was just wanting to ask people a couple questions. Like, if just wanted to have a little rant this morning. I was just wanting to ask people a couple questions. Like, if in 2 years, when you go into the grocery store, you have to scan to get in and just walk in, what are you gonna do? Amazon bought 80% of the grocery stores. They bought Whole Foods. They own 80% of the grocery stores. Amazon plans to have grocery stores where there's no cashiers. You scan yourself in, walk through a turnstile, get your groceries, and then walk out. That means something. I don't know if it. Hold on, y'all. This is my daughter. Hold on, little baby. Hold on, because I'm in my. I'm not about to send it crazy. I know, but I'm in my office. Give me a second. You call me on my iPad. Sorry, y'all. My baby had to go get a rental. And so, when I say the enemy has been on my head, my other daughter car quit on her on the highway yesterday. So she was spazzing out. I'm like, listen, y'all got to start making God bigger than y'all problems and quit calling and yelling in the phone. Because I don't be wanting to hear it. And then when I'm trying to offer you advice, you don't want to hear that either. I don't want to. I just hang up in their face until they calm. Yes. And it was worse because they be yelling in the phone with me. I will hang up on you. I'm not gonna let you sit on this phone and holler in my ear. I'm not. Especially, why do y'all call me to do that? Don't. I be venting. Vent to yourself and then call me when you ready to listen. Because if I'm trying to give you options and you steady taking it up and you ain't trying to hear, it ain't no reason for me to be on the phone. And I hang right up in their face. You call me when you got some sense. I'm not about to do that. I don't. And I don't even do it to my kids. Do you understand me? I will hang up in your face. I don't want to hear all that hollering and screaming and all of that and why God and oh, da 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 da. Look, you already know we're going to take care of it. Quit doing that. I love y'all, but I don't want to hear that. You said my cousin did that yesterday early. No. They'll tell y'all I will hang up in their face. Quick. Okay, you don't want to hear what I got to say, so then I don't want to hear this yelling. Do you want to, you just want to vent? You can scream in your car. You can scream in your room. You can yell and scream. Do all that and then call me because I can't. I don't want to hear that. It be ruining my damn day. I love my kids, love being there, but when do we get over y'all acting like this every time something come up? That's not showing faith. And y'all done been through way too many situations to not have faith. You're not about to ruin my day. Yeah. No. And I hang up. I love them. I'll let them talk it out with their sister or somebody, not me. Call me when you're ready to listen. I'm not doing all that. Screaming and hollering in the phone and acting crazy. Girl, no, I got stuff to do. And then you done messed up my mood and ain't nobody in here to fix it. Nope. That's why I be telling y'all, outside stuff, even with my kids, I can't. What I'm going to do about it? There's nothing I can do. I can give you some advice. You're going to take it, and that's going to be it. It is nerve-wracking. Because first of all, I'm not even in the city where they at, so what? Kids are exhausting. Listen, I tell them, y'all need to start talking to God before y'all call me. Talk to God about it. You saying all I was thinking yesterday, because it's a lot. I love my kids and I want them to be sound in knowing and hearing God's word. Like, I can't fix nothing. There's nothing I can do. So I already just went through this at 3 a.m. just before preparing the official my son's marriage this morning. Interesting. Congratulations to nephew on his marriage. It's like everybody needs somebody to vent to, but you also need to be listening when you're venting. You said they are. Mine came in talking about how she want to go into the military now. I was like, girl, get out of my face. Listen. I'm talking about, like, I don't know. And I get it, but I keep telling everybody, take crash out of your vocabulary. The devil got you speaking that you about to tear your life up. If you crash out, your life is gone. Or you in a situation, why would you keep wanting to speak that? Don't say that while you on the phone with me. If you want to crash out, ain't no sense in you calling me. Go on and crash out. But don't be calling talking about I should have listened or I should have nothing, because you spoke that you was about to tear your life up. That's why you got to be careful just saying everything everybody else say. Do you hear me? It don't make no sense for you to do that. Listen, emotions will take you where logic cannot reach you. Listen. That's why I told y'all, even as a young person, people that used to get big do doing stuff. I'm not going with you. Do whatever you want to. I'm not going on no dummy missions. No, thank you. No, y'all ain't even thought this through. I'll be over here when y'all get back. I will be over here when y'all get back. I don't want no part to that. You hear me? And can I be honest with you? It's You said words have power. We need to stand on our mouth now more than ever. This part. You said this is not the time to go in the service. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, y'all. I think we are getting ready to see a very crazy time. You hear me? You hear me? I think we are about to see a very, very, very crazy time. I really do. Right? I'm too seasoned for stupid stuff. If it ain't survival, count me out. This part, too many in jail for crashing out to something that you said what was not important. Like them girls that went in there in that lady house, broke in that girl house, kicked her door down. One of the girls was pregnant, and they in there trying to fight that girl. She got a newborn 2-week-old baby in the house. Girl, y'all silly now. Little girl, you might be about to have, because you was the main one swinging, you might be having your baby in jail, pumpkin. And you didn't got a breaking and entering charge and all of this, and you 6 months pregnant. You silly, because you could sit in the county jail for 4 months, pumpkin. Them young girls, and then recorded it and put it on the internet. I said, yeah, God, thank you that whatever I did was before cameras. Whatever I did, it was before, baby. If you was getting a Polaroid of it, you better move quickly. Listen, because what? You said, and court is backed up to, come on. You said, right. Soon as I heard you say, all right, so boom, I'm not listening anymore. You going to jail. This part. this part. Right. Exactly. I don't got, listen. I don't want no parts of it, nephew. I don't, listen. Who can understand how strategy is going to be very important? This part, Diana. You hear me? Strategy is going to be so important right now. Understanding when to talk and when not to talk, what to say and what not to say. All of those things are going to be so valuable just right now. He said, yes, and the Bible says men's hearts will fail them for what is to come. This part. And we don't all know what we're going to do, but at least we preparing for it. We ain't out here just thinking we just about to be, you know. Does it feel like when you go and you try to talk to people about what's happening, that the great falling away is happening? Do it feel like that? Can you feel the great falling away? They don't believe nothing. Forgetting that unbelief is a sin. They don't believe, like, they don't want to hear. They just, it's so frustrating. It's like all of this next month in the UK, they gotta use the ID. We gotta put it. I mean, Jesus. They don't believe nothing. They don't believe nothing. My sister said my pastor hasn't talked about that. Your pastor ain't talked about it. Interesting. Man, once I asked Dad to break my heart with the things that break his, I've been an emotional wreck, especially these last 2 weeks. Listen, listen, listen. Can anybody see where the passion came from in the beginning of this? Y'all remember how I used to do all that yelling and screaming like, listen, please, dang near getting up in the camera begging people to understand, to not just listen, to understand that there is a time coming. People, listen. It is a thing of, it's about to be a lot of people unalived. And I kept saying that. Listen. Please hear me. Please listen. Please understand. Listen, please understand. Listen, please understand. Listen, please understand. Listen. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, for you to see that the red heifers was found, for you to see them get to Israel, for you to see them live 3 years, for you to see that they sacrificed it. Now they done blew the horn up there. And during that same time, you have got to show your ID to get on the internet. During the same time. And you still can't see it. Your eyes are still blind. That urgency in your voice and your facial expression made me move. I seen it was serious. Ads trap beat behind that. Listen, Mari, go on and do it. Please. I don't know if you know how, but do that. Listen. It is Trova CERCA 22 at gmail.com. Or Tatnai Place. That's easier. TATNAIPLACE at Gmail. Listen. The pastor at our church said we should have caution reading the other books. He said it to my daughter, and I said, I will never agree. So sad, but Hosea 4 and 6. I just sent this to a lot of my pastor friends and family members. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Sorry. Listen. Ooh. So, back to what you were saying. I just had to have a conference. Oh, let me do this. Y'all see it be 17 things happening. Okay. Is a massive Bible, and yes, it's as heavy as it looks. It's a first edition King James Bible that was printed in 1611, so this is over 4 centuries old. And I'm going to open it up to the New Testament title page. Bibles typically have at least a general title page at the beginning and a New Testament title page. That's a little trick for you. If you find a Bible that doesn't have a title page, look for the New Testament and you may be able to find out the date. So there's the New Testament title page. It's dated 1611. And on the other side we have the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha was included in the first edition King James Bible and was taken out in the 1880s. Why would you be careful to read something that was originally in the Bible? I wonder what spirit is telling them to tell you that. That's interesting. Now, ooh, Jesus. This is Ezekiel through Revelations. You see, that's a Holy Bible, right? This ain't even the whole Bible. This is only Ezekiel to Revelations. So why would you tell me to be careful to read the scripture? That doesn't make any sense. This version of the Bible is older than the one that they read. Okay? And if I flip through here, why would I need to, you don't... That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So who is being deceived? Tell me. Sandra, I can't flip this. Please and thank you. It doesn't work like that. This isn't TikTok. It's YouTube. And you can't flip the camera like that over here. Doesn't work like that. Okay? In real life. Just found a smaller Bible with the Apocrypha in it last week. I was so excited. This part. They always at the Goodwill. And Salvation Army be having them a lot too. Well, I'll take that back because y'all said that the Goodwill don't be having books no more. It's okay, Pumpkin. I get it. Me either. And that's why I say, hey, Cindy. Okay? But who's being lied to, family? Love you too. Who is being lied to? Tell me. Are we being lied to, or is the church being lied to? Millions, maybe even possibly billions of people. Yes or no? So you don't think that God is going to be a little upset when people get to heaven and they say, Jesus, I did all of this stuff. And he said, well, did you read the rest of the Bible? No, my pastor told me not to. He said, well, what about the stuff that was already in there? Well, no, that was witchcraft. That was witchcraft. So my pastor said, he said, but I put it in there. He said, well, did you even go, what if he said, did you even go research when it started? That Bible? You were so worried about the Greek and the Hebrew. Did you find the Septuagint and go look at that? Because even that scripture is older than the scripture that you have. You didn't even go look back to see if there was any, and think about all the pastors for all of these years that told people, don't read the lost books of the Bible. But they're not lost if they're in the first Bible. Are they lost? Are they lost if they're in an older version of the Bible you have right now? They're not. So when you they can't be persuaded to see Jesus in a different light. You can show it to them in the Bible and they still won't see it. You said only lost in their translation. Mari? And now you see why I said I can't. If y'all don't want to acknowledge these books, y'all don't have to acknowledge these books, but I'm going to read them because I know that they were in the Bible. You said it lets them do what they want without consequences. Because if Baruch was in the Bible, Baruch, however you say it, do you think people would be cutting up the way they be cutting up? And it was in there. Y'all literally read it. Y'all see that the book of Baruch was in the Bible. That's the main one need to be in there. So why did they take out all of the books that show you about the punishment for your sins? You said I definitely wouldn't have been cutting up. So they'll tell you, don't read it, but that's all the stuff you need to be reading about how your members is going to tell on you. And that book used to be in the Bible. Hello. You said absolutely not. I'm still scared to read it again. Come on. And as y'all can see, it's in that Bible. Second Baruch changed a lot of our lives. Esdras changed a lot of our lives. The Apocalypse changed a lot of our lives. The 12 patriarchs changed a lot of our lives. And these people keep telling people, And it's probably the first one they considered to chop out. Probably too convincing. We don't want that for them. Hilarious, Mari. Okay. 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 The word was medicine for your life. You said the name Baruch is still in Jeremiah. Oh, okay. When I tell you my daddy be dropping seeds everywhere, but it's the people. Listen, you don't think it's crazy that the people that won't accept these other books don't accept that the Antichrist is already here for 3.5 years, don't even know, excuse me, not don't accept, don't know that the Antichrist is already here. They don't know that the cows have been sacrificed. They don't know that they didn't blew this horn up in there. They don't know that the temple been built since 2020 for sure. And that it's prefab, so they don't really have to build it, so it's not going to take no lot of years. You don't think and they don't think they should prepare for nothing, and they don't think that they're gonna have to go through anything. Do you think that maybe some of those books being in the Bible still would have made them not think like that? Because it's all the people that won't read the lost books that don't believe nothing that's going on with everything. Like they don't care about it. It's interesting how the ones that won't read the books don't know what's happening right in front of their face. So is that because they're choosing to be blind? What do you think? I think it's mind-blowing. How many of you have read the lost books before you came here? Not just heard of them. How many of you had actually taken the time to read the lost books before you came? Before you came to WOIU? Hey, babies. You did. You did. Okay. You did not. Okay. Never knew they existed. I'm just trying to see something. Anybody else? Never heard of them till I got here. I did. I did. Okay. So you knew about the lost books? Okay. Or were reading them, excuse me. Never had heard of them. I didn't know there were any. I didn't know they existed before WOIU. So we got a few people that read them before they came here. And we got a few people, you didn't know nothing. You didn't know nothing. Okay. You had never heard of them. Okay. So, okay. But it's okay. I just want to know. I'm just trying to see something. You had never heard of them. You had never heard of them. I didn't know about them. I didn't even read the Bible until I got here. No way. Really? And now you're a whole Bible scholar. Okay. Okay. I just want to see something. Were you all members of a church at some time? Nope. 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 Okay. I knew about them and didn't read them. Okay. Okay. I didn't know they even existed. Okay. Okay. So you said yes, St. John Missionary Baptist Church. Okay. I was a member of a church, but I didn't read the Bible because I took the pastor word for it and I ran with it. It was a copycat, just like the rest of the church. No. And I was with those lost books. You said, and I was lost with those books. Okay. Okay, yes, and yes again. Okay. Okay. I was just trying to do an experiment to see. Because if we all was in church, the books was all right in front of us, right? We all had the same Bible for the most part. Different versions of it, same Bible. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So do you think that it is odd? You said I never thought to look for the books mentioned, but not in the Bible until I got here. Okay. Yes, from birth until 2020. Okay. I just want to ask because if we all went to church, and I'm not saying that the pastors are not hearing from God. That's not what I'm saying. But if we are being told to come, go higher, go deeper in the word, how is it that all of us had the same, for the most part, except for a few people, we all had the same experience? That we knew that there was more, that God kept telling us it was something else. He would give us questions in our minds so that we would go looking, but nobody ever really had the answers for us. We all come from different organizations, conferences, whatever, but we all had the same experience. And all of our pastors, for the most part, told us, don't read it. Extremely, because we was being taught throughout the whole Bible and never heard any of the lost books mentioned, even in he said, even in passing by reading. Uh-oh. 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 Yeah, I get that, but I'm just trying to, I'm trying to go somewhere. So what do you think it looks like in the world right now? You said in only certain books or scriptures were even discussed. What do you think the world is looking at right now? You said 15 years plus of church. Okay, you said I got tired of hearing just pray or don't question God, or those unanswered questions and gaps in the Bible led me to Jasher. Come on. Right. I never heard nothing about the books out of here. That's why you came across my page. I get it. But I'm just saying. Now let's shift this focus out to everybody that is still faithfully going to church, not questioning, not being concerned. If they pastor don't say it, they don't even go looking at it. You said like a desert, people starving for the world. But think about it. While I was in church, it was in a relationship with God. It seemed unattainable, never changing, staying in the same place until you got here. Come on, Jen. But think about that, family. What if next month is the first month of the 3.5 second part of the tribulation? Okay? What if? What does that do for the church? When they don't even know what is happening. Let's say that next month is the first month of the second half of the 7 years. Then what? Because in that same month, we have to start uploading our ID for all kind of stuff. In that very same month, the UK has got to put, they got to start showing their ID to get in the grocery store to even get bread. Listen to what I'm telling you. Bread. That means you can't send your 10-year-old in the store no more. Because your 10-year-old don't have an ID. Most times, your 15-year-old don't have an ID. So if you want to send your kid in the store to go get a soda for you, you can't. And it ain't going to be, oh, this person is walking with this person into the store. Remember we talked about in the beginning of this class how they're going to know it's you and how much you're buying? Not that they already aren't, but it is going to be tied to you. So there will be no you extra buying for the people that don't want to go to the store. And you can be banned from the store for 30 days. What if that's the only store closest to your house? This is in the UK. And if you receive Social Security, you have to upload your ID and take a picture of how you look before you get online to check your account out here. What? See, I didn't know nothing about that. And my daughter used to get Social Security. She don't now, but she sure did. Hold on. Uh-oh. The enter, identify, and pay. And they still oblivious until it's too late. Ooh, enter, identify, and pay. Niecy Pooh, you remember when people used to call your TT crazy every time I used to talk about Zoe? It was just 3 years ago, niece. Almost 4 now. We getting closer to 4. But do you remember? Yo, TT used to be on here screaming and hollering, talking about Zoe. Showed it 15 times in a listen. The lack of belief in true study in the body of Christ is severely disabled with parts amputated everywhere. You said they want to match it with your ID to make sure you. Well, what say you? I remember had me ready to windmill in the comments. Now look, now they look crazy. Yeah, they sure do. Remember I said don't worry about it. They gonna see it. Everybody gonna see it. Because this is the thing. God had me sounding the alarm. And it's scary that the alarm systems of the world are going off. And you know what the church keep doing? Hitting the snooze button. You said to verify Medicaid eligibility for patients at my job, we have to upload a copy of our driver's license. Interesting. To work, you have to check EBT balance online. You can't do it by phone anymore. Are you serious? What? Just got the notification. Indiana restaurant announces it will no longer serve power company employees. My daughter came running in my room to show me a video of Zoe. She said, "Oh no, Mama, that's the mark." I said, "People getting ready for it." Not that you had to disappear, so I couldn't take a picture of it. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we in it. I'm talking about in it. Yeah. Yeah. So next month, I know you already know, we gotta upload you because you said we won't be able to buy or sell. Right. And we're gonna be able to go into the markets and stuff. I do get it. This is why you had us buy stuff like this. And baby diapers, because we ain't going to be able to go in the store and get them in a minute. So we going to have to use what we got. Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you, because you told us ahead of time about everything. You did. We're very grateful. Thank you, Dad. We love you. This is crazy, nigga. This is really crazy. We is really living in it. Knee deep in it. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. God told us, Auntie. He said in Louisiana, I got a letter saying that the gas, with the electricity, the gas and light will be together, but they separated into 2 bills. So they're merging into one company, the gas and the electric. Sounds about right. Remember we talked about Unigov, where the federal and state was going to be one deal. Do y'all see that happening? Y'all see it? Because the National Guard is state, not federal. Trying to tell y'all, my daddy put us on. Everybody keep talking about what he can't do. He can, because it's already one piece. I'm going to just say this. Gas and water and electric has been one combo bill in certain parts of Maryland and Pennsylvania for years, okay? I love y'all, and I want y'all to understand that a lot of the things that we talked about were not easy. I know that it was some hard days over here. You hear me? I know there were some difficult days to listen to the scary stuff and to even think about any of these things happening. But because you went ahead and said, God, I don't know, but I'm gonna start moving in faith. You understand how important that was to believe the word of God. When we read about the last days, when we read about the famine, when we read about, when we did the numbers about how much blood was going to flow and the numbers of soldiers, all of those things, when we looked at the floods and where the water go and checking into the water sources and what they allow in there, all of that knowledge was for right now, today. And things that people thought important, us researching certain diseases and plagues and all of those different things, y'all. Understanding the branches of the military, just all the different things that we went and studied. It's for now. And yes, it was scary. Yes, it was weird. Yes, you had to be called crazy. But baby, I would rather be called crazy and be aware and know that God was speaking to me about the things to come than live in la la land and be out here messed up. Because if by October or November we have to scan our ID to get into the grocery store, how's that going to make you feel? It's crazy that they say it's giving an airport feel. And I told y'all, I said, I don't go to the airport. I don't like it. It feels like jail. Now they saying the grocery store is going to be feeling like jail. It's starting with the grocery store. Why they didn't start with the pharmacy? Think about it. Y'all remember us talking about they gonna control people with food? Hmm? Did we talk about them controlling people with food? I feel they're making it easier to control us. You talk back, you know, eat. Exactly. That's if you don't believe in the one world government. I'm telling you the truth, and to keep coming back to get them throat chops, they paid off. I'm grateful. Listen, 10-minute calls and identifying at commissary sounds familiar to felonious fellows. Listen, we gonna have to keep it short and sweet and say what we want without everybody on the line knowing what's going on. That's how I know they be recording my calls. I've been telling y'all, I said they be listening so hard, me and the person on the phone can't even hear. And now, 2026, not that they ain't already been doing it, they just had to go in and tell us. Understand, the devil wanted us to be caught off guard. And I say that all the time because it's serious, family. We could have got on this internet and cut up, talked about all kind of stuff, but we got on here and we worked on ourselves. We allowed God to speak to us. We allow God to change our minds, our hearts. Sometimes I can't even make a call on my phone. My calls in the middle of the talking or dropping. Yep, we was just talking about that when we first got on here, me and Queen. And later people gonna ask which camp you from and what do you have. You said, oh, they better stay away from me. You said, yep, I can see and feel that. Okay. Can you see the tears coming? Can you see people trying to lay a guilt trip on you because they didn't listen? Can you see it? Well, can you go in the store because I can only get this much? No. And the reason I can't is because they clocking what I go in there and get too. You hear me? You said, cry me a river. I can see a lot of betrayal on the horizon. Ooh, Niecy Pooh. Y'all hear what y'all niece said? She said, I can see or feel a lot of betrayal because folks gonna be mad. You heard it? But we talked about family members turning you in, did we not? Because when they start calling you, asking you, well, have you been to the store lately? Something keeps saying secure your doors. I keep hearing that over and over and over. Secure your doors. have several slabs of 2-inch thick pine and 6-inch needles, 6-inch screws. I got long ones and short ones. This is not no little piece of wood. And it's not light. It's not like no plywood. You hear me? $80. Well, I don't know how much the lumber is now. But $80 gets you 10 to 12 feet of 2-inch thick, 12-inch wide pine. Hello. This is thick. That's what these is made out of. And that's why I made them myself, because if I need to break them down, even though I got a lot, I can break these down. These books can be on the floor, and these is like 8 feet right here. Okay. And get you some 6-inch screws. Wood screws. Metal screws too if you need them. Hello. Hello. Fit them to your door. And even if you don't got enough to cover the whole door, you can cover them. If you got to do them tall ways or sideways, however you got to do it. You said I kept all the extra wood when I had my bathroom redone. Listen, I got copper around my doors and my windows, but I'm starting to feel that I should put even more around my windows, like barbed wire and boards, okay? I noticed that my circle is getting smaller and smaller. This part, I literally just, yeah. Those are simple things, but they can keep somebody from just kicking in your door and getting right into your house. You hear me? If you got a lot of windows, figure out which ones are the most important. You hear me? Because that can even stop stop them from seeing the lights on at night. If you got boards covering up the windows from the inside, right? And then you got your reflective film on there. Even when your lights is on, you can put something in between them pieces. I've noticed the same. I've pretty much ghosted my friends at this point. Nobody did anything to me. I just don't want to talk. They don't feel like it's a priority. I'm trying to tell you. Boards around my house in the window. Has gel bars around them. It's easy for me to put the stuff around it. Yeah. Blackout curtains too. Got those as well. See? See, family? And it ain't that you said I replaced the 1-inch nails with the 3 inches in my doors. Come on. Come on. I mean, it's sad that we have to think about this, but you know why we're moving? Because we believe. We believe. You said I have room darkening curtains. Yeah. I look to see if I can see light at night, right? Right? Start, if you can get, those little plugs with the timers on them? You know the ones I'm talking about? I got one right here. The plugs, and they come with the little app. Get you a couple of them. And then start changing up when you turn your lights on and off, even if you're not at home. So that way people can't learn your schedule. Have them turn on in the middle of the day or do something, you know what I'm saying? So that way people think they know your schedule and it's not your schedule. You see? Because if it comes on through the what do you call it? Through the alarm system, that if they shut the alarm system down, but if you got your charger things, you can still charge those, and you know what I mean? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Ooh, give me a second. So, woo, I drank some tea this morning. That was not a smart thing to do. Got my stomach rumbling and tumbling. Hello. Ooh. Don't do that and go to work. You'll be sad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen here. I suggest you don't. That is not a good deal. I had tea and then coffee. Not a good deal. Not a good deal. You hear me? My friend said that I was a CEO. You hear me? So think about this, right? Hey y'all, think about this, okay? We gotta pray that God open the minds of our people, but we don't have to put ourselves in a dangerous situation. Does that make sense? Huh? Y'all hear me? Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. So with that, um, I'm gonna say it again. I'm very proud of y'all for your work that you have done in the last 3 years. Everybody that has worked to change they life around and to actually acknowledge what God is saying. I'm grateful that y'all stepped outside because it's so scary that the people inside are blinded. And I'm not saying everybody, but it is so many people, you hear me, that have completely closed their mind off. And maybe it is the spirit of strong delusion that God has sent. But it's scary. It is terrifying to know that all of this is happening and you're doing nothing. Still going on as business as usual. Still, even with everything that this man and the White House is doing, you still not thinking, well, dang. The last time he was in office, there was no food in the grocery store. The last time he was in office, when it was people were sick and dying, he put the military on the streets. They're not even thinking back to just 5 years ago. It ain't like it's been 20 years since we was on lockdown and they was telling us where we could go and where we couldn't go, and if we could work and if we couldn't work, and if we could go into this store or not, having folks rub your head. It's about to be 6 years come January. Listen, this is the thing. We are getting to a point where you said it's a strong delusion and got them in a chokehold, arm under the throat, because they are not listening. And it's scary. It's like, how can you be preparing to meet God and you don't even know that he's on his way back for real? It was definitely conditioning for now. Listen. Can I have a moment of transparency with y'all? For real. It is unnerving that in less than 21 days, our brothers and sisters in the UK gonna have to show their ID to go in a grocery store. Like, how is that not alarming to people? Just like y'all need said, enter, identify, and pay. If that don't ruffle your spirit, not in the sense of being scared, but not ever in history have we had to identify ourselves to get into the grocery store. Something that, and you can go into the grocery store before this, whatever, 24 hours a day and buy whatever you want at whatever time. They couldn't stop you from buying. You could have them go in the back and buy all that they had in the back. The fact that don't make people get up and think, I need to do something. The fact that they walked into, it makes you feel like, wow, it's really this. And this is not stress. It's just like, I don't know. Listen. Listen, T. You said, yep. Store I used to work at was 24 hours until right. I mean, for real. Can we do a hypothetical situation? If in sometime in September you have to show your ID to go in the grocery store, how is that going to make you feel? Honestly. He said, me and my daughter just said this last night. It's really happening. Yes. Auntie Selena, it is. But for real, let's just do a hypothetical. Very uneasy, Shaniqua? Anybody else? For real. If by the end of September, in order for you to run in Walmart, you said really nerve-wracking and uneasy, talk about feeling like you're under surveillance. 6-year-olds won't even be able to go to the corner store and play grandma's numbers. This part. What happens if there's a glitch and you aren't in the system? No food. Okay. Overwhelmed and uneasy. Eerie. Okay. Y'all feeling me now? I feel like I'm being stripped of all my rights. Never thought it would be this soon. I knew it was coming, but not in the time that I was gonna know y'all. Well, I did feel that, but you know, feel real eerie. Okay. You said I'm already on high alert as it is, and here we are. Danny, how old are you again? Do we got some under 30s in here? Anybody under 30? And folks aren't even paying attention. Wake up. There's 36. Okay. The 10,000 Kelvin lights going up in Wally World. This is serious. They about to drive people crazy. 26. Okay. Y'all ain't lived as long as your aunties have. 30, 31. Okay. In my mind, I keep saying that. Apart from, I believe it's Left Behind, where the young lady was trying to go into the store, but she couldn't because she didn't have. Okay. 28. Okay. All right. For my babies that's under 30. How do y'all feel like the people in y'all age group, what do y'all feel like they gonna do when they start telling them they have to go into the store and use their ID? I had a feeling as a kid I lived to see it, but not this young. Interesting. Tell me. Seeing as how we already gonna have a armed military on the streets. I keep thinking about the one scene in Sinners, that lady said, that threw everyone under the bus and was able to come in. I know people that crash out over small stuff like that, let alone when it hit the fan. You said cry and throw a tantrum. Excuse me. They're going to conform to this world. You said they're going to go from young man to YN. Uh-oh. 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 Nephew, now I see why you need to be talking with your homeboys and your cousins and your uncles like, hey, what we about to do if this and this and this? We have to get the attention of the young men and ladies. Some of the ones I know will be in complete compliance if they can't get what they want or need. Interesting. Listen, I don't know how this next couple of weeks is going to be. No one wants to be uncomfortable, even if only for a little while. He said, I'm cool with you. You should already know. Oh, nephew said, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no information for them, auntie. They don't even got to worry about it. No, thank you. I've been telling y'all. I just read from my daily verse, cowards will not be allowed in heaven. Uh-oh. Upheaval, then chaos, then forced coercion. Nephew, a lot of folks in our age bracket have no heart for real. It's all talk. You know what?
In part four. Now, if you don't, America Surviving in part four. Now, if you don't realize what's going on in America, just stick around. Each passing day will help you realize you're not in Kansas anymore. Now, the first thing you have to know is you have to know who you are, okay? And so ask yourself this very simple question. Am I the type of person who is proactive, reactive, or in denial, okay? Now, if you're the type of person who's in denial, what you need is some courage, okay? Because you're the type of person who pours the sheet over your head. You don't want to see the monster under the bed, but there's definitely a monster, okay? If you're the type of person who is reactive, okay, what you need is information. Now, information will allow you to take the correct and proper action, okay? And the correct and proper action are taken by proactive people who only need to remain vigilant, and passing day will help you realize you're not in Kansas anymore. Now, the first thing you have to know is you have to know who you are, okay? And so ask yourself this very simple question. Am I the type of person who is proactive, reactive, or in denial, okay? Now, if you're the type of person who's in denial, what you need is some courage, okay? Because you're the type of person who pours the sheet over your head. You don't want to see the monster under the bed, but there's definitely a monster, okay? If you're the type of person who is reactive, okay, what you need is information. Now, information will allow you to take the correct and proper action, okay? And the correct and proper action are taken by proactive people who only need to remain vigilant and continue to take the correct action. Okay, so this next list is a list of do's and don'ts, but I'm putting it in the form of stop doing this and go do that, okay? Now, this list is for the culture, but anybody can benefit. I've got another question. Are y'all still outside? Stop going outside, okay? My mother used to say it like this: the only thing outside is disease and death, okay? And if you keep going outside, you're going to find out the truth of that. Stop burning bridges with your mouth, okay? Y'all argue over just about everything on this internet, and you're actually burning the bridges to the people who may actually be your allies or allies to somebody else who may need them in the future, but can't be allies because y'all want to argue over everything. Y'all want to...
Did we talk about any of that? Is that something we talked about here? His name is One Powerful somebody. One Powerful Idea. Do you feel like you are proactive or reactive or in denial? Tell me. Proactive, reactive, or in denial? Which one are you? Interesting. Definitely proactive now. Proactive, 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 proactive. Interesting. Do you think that Joseph was proactive? You said you feel like a little bit of all of them. Okay. Do you think that Joseph was proactive? Do you think that Noah was proactive? You said you're reactive. Okay. Do you think that most Christians are proactive, reactive, or in denial? Very proactive with a little mix of reactive, because as I gather more info, I get busier. Okay. Do you think, you said they're in denial? Interesting. Interesting. That's one reason why I couldn't stay in the Navy. It was reactive. I mean, on things that were life threatening. Uh-oh. You said in this day being reactive may be too. Reactive and in denial are dangerous right now. Are they not? Huh? Remember, reactive people are, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll do something about it when it happens. I'm not doing nothing until it happens. It's amazing to hear that men in our CERCA TROVA family are on board with what's happening, and my 60-year-old husband can't or don't want to talk about it. Wow. But I've had all my survival stuff for over 3 years. I know exactly where you at, and I know exactly where I was at. Because my ex-husband didn't believe either. He didn't want to hear about it. He said he'll deal with it when it come. I said, okay, well, that's why I started prepping in 2017, because God told me 2020 was coming. And I'm not about to just be out here bad because you want to be silly. So I'll go ahead and get my stuff. It's just mind-blowing to me that you don't, they be in a state of like, and I'm not saying your husband, my ex-husband, he was in a state of not, you don't trust what I'm telling you? You didn't see all these intuitions come to pass and you still don't trust me? Okay. He said, well, when it comes to already too late, listen, do y'all know my dad laughed at me because I bought him a life jacket? He also was clowning me yesterday for blessing my house. In my mind, I'm thinking, so you got to get up and get out of here. Uh-oh. Listen. I don't never know how to get these to work. Let's see. It's a remote to it somewhere. Oh, maybe that's it right here. Let's see. Is you gonna work? Let me see. Oh, I need to charge this. Well, good to know. Let's see some. Will you work while you on a charger? No. Interesting. Okay. Well, we got a light we can charge here. Y'all seen these? It's solar and rechargeable. Now, these I don't think you can put in water. They got a remote control, USB, and solar charging. Timing function, so you ain't messing up your stuff, and it come with a base. And you can, they touch whenever it's charged. I need to charge these. That's what I'm going to say to people that don't want to listen. Hopefully, this will happen and the light bulb will come on. Oh. You said, I'm moving in these streets like I'm Sarah Connor in the Terminator. That part. We had a kid in my squadron who unalived himself 1 month after attempting. They did nothing to prevent it. That's crazy. Mom was like that too, made fun of me and my mom for having supplies, but sure was using them when Texas froze over. He ain't learned from that either, because after I came to WOIU, he made fun of me more. Wow. In my Reverend Kendrick Lamar voice, everything ain't meant to be shared. Sometimes you gotta pop it out and show a nigga at the moment. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, you said you do awareness training every quarter, but nobody sees the signs. That part. That's why I'm single. My ex did not want to believe anything. It got down to the part where he wanted me to choose him over God. I left, nigga, because I chose God. This part. And you buy a small adapter that fits that little tiny radio that can charge it. Listen. But please believe he was grateful when the power went out and I had extra light bulbs. This. Walking around the house talking about Nettie, you a trip. Girl. I think I misunderstood what reactive was, because when you said, get this, I definitely got what I could. The funds came in. Come on. My baby daddy kicked me and our sons out before the pandemic. We've been blessed ever since. He took us away from crazy. Baby. Amen. And will. That's why I've been trying to tell y'all nieces and nephews, look, everything bad ain't always horrible. Sometimes this God's setting you up for a blessing. You hear me? Because in 21, I knew I wanted my life to change. I knew. And I said, God, he don't believe your word. He don't believe nothing you say. And he's, the Bible say, you can remain married. And I, whatever. God can do whatever he want to do. But I was just telling my son last night, I was outside walking, and I said, son, if he was here, y'all, I would be so afraid. Because the times that I've needed him to stand up and be my protector, he did not do it. You hear me? He did not do it. He did not do it. And I look at now, I would, listen, I'm grateful that God did what he did in that situation. And I'm not telling nobody to, I'm just saying because I wouldn't have even been able to do what I do here every day in peace. He would make sure that I couldn't, to get people ready. You know what I'm saying? And I would have been so sad. Just think if I would have stayed in that marriage, y'all. And this is just for me, not nobody else. I wouldn't have been able to do this. He would have made it so hard. And that's why I said I am grateful for me that in my situation, now my situation different from y'all's. You know what I mean? Some people, God will allow your husband to come around, but he wasn't. That's how I felt, and I can't. God was like, you know what to do. You know what to do. Don't let him trick you. Your ex and mine must be cousins or something because we must have been married to the same evil spirit. This part. I have written down in my journal so many times. God told me at the end times this nigga ain't gonna be around, and he ain't. But we had only been married 5 years and stuff, so it was a short time. But I'm grateful that God woke me up, and it's a shame that so many people are not going to listen to their spouses. Do you hear me? It's a shame. You should trust your spouse. Y'all see this light going off up here? Y'all see it? This remote is to the light bulb, but it's working that. Y'all see it? Right here? And now it won't turn it off. That's crazy. That's to the light bulb. You heard me? And now y'all not gonna go out for real? That's nuts. Interesting. Good to know, I guess. Women, y'all need to get a lock and a sock. I wouldn't trust my ex to guard my stuff. He shown me he'd be the type to wait till I was asleep and run off with everything. So you're just going to take the words out of my mouth and see who I was about to say it. That's what I was about to say before I saw the lights. Exactly. Because he did it in real life. He did it before the end. I told y'all one time, man, listen. No. And I ain't saying it ain't no women out here like that. It's just sad that you trust me enough for me to give you my body, for you to give me your body, but you don't trust me enough to love you and understand what you need so that you can be okay. That's, I think, where that feeling comes in at is, nigga, I'm trying to make sure we gonna be all right. Daddy, mama, cousin, I'm trying to make sure. I can see if I was telling you to go do some stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? I can see that. You hear me? But everything that I'm telling you is so that you can be okay. This is so we don't starve. This is so we don't freeze. This is so if it ain't, that's the one thing that gets me. It does. And it don't matter if it's your spouse or not. It could be your kids. It could be whoever. It's like, I'm trying to make sure you're okay. I'm just trying to make sure you're all right. And I think that's where the frustration comes in at it, because it's like, you should be happy that I care enough. You act like you ain't seen the disaster movies.
Argue over, I don't like men. bit, but I'm gonna show you what the mark of the beast is really gonna be. Because it's not just a mark. It's not just because I told y'all before that the Bible says that once that they took the mark, they could not be redeemed. So it wasn't just a mark, but the mark of the beast is you saying you want to be changed. You are signing up to be altered, not just have a mark, because you no longer, the reason why you won't be eligible because you will no longer be a qualified, because you will have altered your DNA. Y'all got one? Then let me show you this.
Now think about this. The moment that you take that mark into your body, you're a cyborg. Hello. You are not just human. You are human and a piece of electronic together. You're no longer human. You are basically a cyborg. No? You basically a machine. Crazy.
Out revealing secret negotiation between the Nazis and the Zionists in 1930.
Now this is in the 90s.
Out revealing secret negotiation between the Nazis and the Zionists in 1933, which allowed German Jews and their assets to go to Palestine.
I lived in Palestine from 1933 to 1936, and we saw every week transports of German Jews coming to settle in Palestine.
In the Berlin paper Der Angriff, the publisher, Hitler's propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels. A Nazi Visits Palestine was the title of the multi-part series. A medal was struck by Goebbels in commemoration. On one side, the swastika. On the other, the Star of David. But a group of Zionists at the same time was quietly negotiating an agreement with the Nazis to allow the immigration of German Jews and the transfer of their assets to Palestine. That deal, reported in August 1933, was the transfer agreement. Palestine, sparsely settled by Jews at the time, was radically changed as a result.
You heard that? You heard that? So who the Russian Jews in 1933 was flooding into Palestine? The people that are doing what they are doing to the people of Palestine are acting just like who? And they look just like who? Remember I told y'all in the early 1900s, the way that Egypt and all, it didn't look like that before them folks got over there. Before the Brits came over there tearing up stuff. Before all of them people got over in there, it did not look like that. And they used those wars to come over there and steal. And to infiltrate certain holy lands and spaces that have been left alone forever. So it's crazy that the people in Israel are doing exactly what the people that was in that war was doing to the Jews then, and now they're doing it to the Palestinians. Wonder who they really are. People got on here and talk good and crazy to me when I said those people are not the Jews. They are not. Those are the Romans and all of those folks. Those people are not the Jews. And then I showed y'all a picture of an Ethiopian priest. And I said, these are the Jews. You said infiltrate is a good word. Okay.
third Temple update for you. Today, the Temple Institute held an event called Encircling the Temple Mount Gates, where they started at the Western Wall and they marched around the Temple Mount. They also had a mini choir at the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate is the gate through which Israeli paratroopers entered into and liberated the Temple Mount during the 1967 Six-Day War. And I have some video that you can watch of this event. And
hello.
We will make all of you famous. Here is the catch. You are only allowed to rap about drugs, guns, and hugs.
Their communities are done for after this. Keep an eye on that one with the bandana, though. Yes, sir. I'll make sure to tap his phones and have him under 24/7 surveillance.
I don't know if that sits right with me, man. Rap is meant to teach, inspire. It is more than that. Bro, but they said they will give us $1 million. You know what $1 million can buy? Yeah. They got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Said it ain't no hope for the youth. It's so tough. I don't know. I can't shake the feeling someone's watching me.
Yeah, he's not taking the bait. He's still rapping that inspiration bullshit.
We're gonna have to initiate phase 2 and get him locked up.
Crowds gathered today after controversy swirls around rapper following last night's concert.
Hey, he's still rapping that inspiration bullshit.
Sound familiar? Huh? Huh? The crazy thing is, the same thing is being done in the church. If you come in the church talking about things that are going to help people understand what time we live in, does not the same thing happen to you? If you try to come in church right now and tell people we could possibly be in the second half of the 7-year tribulation, look at what's happening, you might be thrown out. You said your YouTube keeps stopping. I believe it. You said they surely got Pac out of here. Not saying he was completely clean. None of us are, but oh yeah. Yep. Yep. And now guess where they going? The Israelis are moving to South Africa. I don't know if you know that or not.
Let's talk about Medicaid. I work in the social service field and we got an update on SNAP and Medicaid. I posted a video about SNAP yesterday and now I'm doing the Medicaid portion. So just like SNAP, this is the largest cut to Medicaid in its history. It's estimated that up to 10 million people can lose their coverage over the next 3 years. We're going to talk about some of the biggest changes, but a lot of these won't go into effect for at least a year from now. So just know that any changes over the next 3 years at least are a direct result of this bill. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. But the absolute biggest change, and the first time in Medicaid's history, they tried this once before and it failed miserably because are a direct result of this bill. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. But the absolute biggest change, and the first time in Medicaid's history, they tried this once before and it failed miserably because so many people lost their coverage. So now people ages 19 to 64 will have to report 80 hours a month of work or other related activity. Other activity means volunteering or going to school. That's 20 hours a week of having to report some sort of work or volunteer or going to school. Another big change is that people will have to recertify every 6 months instead of every year now, which means they'll also be checking on these work requirements and your income every 6 months instead of every year now. This will cause a lot of people to lose their coverage because a lot of people need assistance with recertifying. A lot of people don't have a stable address to even...
For the first time in history, I was wondering who was going to pick up on that. Never before. They tried it, but it didn't work. Oh, okay. So this is the first time it's actually going to go through. Interesting.
Term yoga means the positioning. Term yoga means the positioning of serpents and demons. In other words, people get into these positions with their arms and legs. Okay, it represents getting into a position of a snake, a deity, a spirit. That's why we have these things. Term yoga means the positioning of serpents and demons. In other words, people get into these positions with their arms and legs. Okay, it represents getting into a position of a snake, a deity, a spirit. That's why we have the Holy Spirit. We don't need to go into yoga. Term yoga means
Did you know? We talked about it. Did we? You said like the Nikki trend. You said they little by little making it illegal to be homeless or exist outside their system. Oh, that's the being. That's one of the first things we talked about over here. Not today, 3 years ago. It was against the law to be homeless in a lot of states. That's why when we talked about them doing the seats in all the cities, making it to where you can't lay on the seats, on the bus stops. So, how many Christian people you think we got that go to yoga or Pilates? We did Pilates last time. And Pilates is actually a nice word for the Pleiades. Hello. The 7 connected stars. So Pilates is really Pleiades. And yoga is the positioning of a snake or a spirit. How many church folks do you think have been positioning their bodies to receive a snake spirit or a evil spirit? They will tell us not to read the lost books of the Bible, but they go into yoga. They go into Pilates. You said they used to have the workouts in church. Synagogues of Satan, yes they are. Synagogues of Satan, yes they are. They worship the devil, they worship the devil, they worship the devil, yes they do. But I see somebody dressed in all black and say, oh, they a witch. Hello? My therapist was one of them, tried to get me to do it for years. A lot of Christians, I tell my kids, we are not opening up to nothing but Jesus and laugh out loud and the gym. Okay. Now that I have a Pilates book in my library. Uh-oh. You said the Lord wouldn't let my daughter do Zumba. Okay. Or all dressed in white. Okay. Do you think it's important to understand? Everything, not just some stuff. It is important to understand where every single thing that you are going to be participating in, what the name of it means, even down to the food that you eat. It's the fact that I just seen my neurologist yesterday and she gave me a pathic for a patient with MS and yoga. Uh-oh. You said when I got home, I threw that paper away. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You said laugh out loud, I tried Zumba, but never felt right doing it. They call somebody out for being a witch, but be spiritually unequipped to go against. A lot of the dances, yeah. It's true. It's true. Think about it. Do you see the door getting slimmer and slimmer for your chances to go to heaven? You said they have kids on YouTube, and it literally has the Cali Ma face on one of the moves. I'm so sorry to ask, but where can I find that video so I can share it on my platform? This one is End Times Revelations. I'm sure, I don't know that man's name, but he be on a whole bunch of stuff. The page I found it on was End Time Revelations, Queen, on TikTok. You're welcome. Whole time, most of the real witches wear all white for their rituals, kind of like the saints do on certain Sundays. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, I already know. They do the same thing the hoodoo people do. The hoodoo and voodoo folks do the same thing. Oh, and they wrap their hair up. Yeah. They have kids and Head Start doing yoga and don't ask the parents at all if it's normalized yoga and don't know the history of it. Mm-hmm. 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 You said I used to love me some Zumba. But think about it, family. I be crying like that. It's a lot. Thank you for your continuously showing me what's right. Okay. Just like the blessing bracelets they're giving out now. Listen, charm bracelets. I mean, just think about that, though. We've been walking around, and only what the church deemed not good did we see the evil in it. Not realizing that they had us doing rituals in the church. Wondering why we can't get no closer to God. Wondering why we not feeling close to God and feeling like we better crash out every 2 minutes and all of this old stuff. Come on. You said the elevator doors is steady getting narrower and narrower to get in, and some ain't going to make it because of their own discipline. You said their own disciplines, knowledge, and disbelief. Mari. Oh, hey. Hey, do you hear me? The fact that we still hearing my pastor ain't talking about it, and that's the only reason you don't know, is mind blowing, and you got the internet and a Bible. They tried to have my 16-year-old do yoga. I went up there so quick and read them their rights. Best believe they dropped that class. I'm trying to tell you what you're not gonna do. Who understands the importance of actually understanding where it started, where it came from, and breaking it down to the simplest part of whatever it is that you're studying so that you know? I don't care if it's medicine, food, it doesn't matter. This is why the Bible says his people gonna perish for the lack of knowledge. And not just in biblical. They always want to use that in reference to scripture. Baby, that's in reference to life. Period. Diana. We are to lean on our own understanding, but everyone does. Listen. This is my thing. God, guide me to what I'm supposed to know. Show me what I'm supposed to see so that I can understand. Most people learn to try to make them look smart in front of other people. I don't care about none of that. Tell me what's about to happen. The devil loved dressing sin and divination up real cutesy. Ooh. You said yoga is a part of the curriculum my son is offering as of yesterday. Interesting. Who want to position themselves ready for some snakes and demons to come on in? You know what's funny? Don't demons make your body contort? That's what they do. I've seen somebody moving like a snake on the ground getting a deliverance ministry. Position yourself to feel the energy coming from somewhere else. Demons make the bodies contort and do things that they are not naturally able to do. Craziness. Didn't R. Kelly have a song saying, make your body move like a snake? I believe so. And you got to think about it. When a woman is winding her hips, what is that? That's exactly, snakes wind. They wind sideways too. Literally. Most of the hip dances, because one part of your body is going to, think about it. That's literally snake movement. And think about it. How many people walk around with snakes on their shoulders? And I'm not talking about the pet people. I'm talking about, you know who they worship. Belly dancing. Come on. Even the worm back in the day. You said you always thought yoga was some BS. Well, this is why I say it's important for us to understand everything. And it's so funny because the folks in the church always say, you're going to study so much, but you never coming into the truth. And I just don't feel like that applies to us. Because how is you in the scriptures every day and you still don't believe that the angels have parts to make, you've been reading this word every Sunday, every Tuesday, but you don't even believe nothing that's in it. Just like we got pastors telling people don't read the lost books because they're not in the Bible. There's mentioned books. And if I go, so what they going to do if you take them an old Bible? A real 1611 and show them the table of contents. They going to still say the same thing? You said, Reverend, don't read it if it ain't in the Bible. Well, it's in this one. And this one is older than yours. I got the Pilates book from my mom, but I was never interested in it. Well, I mean, this is the thing. You can learn so that you can teach people why they shouldn't, Danielle. Hello? You hear me? You can study and understand the positions and then go do the research so you can tell them why they shouldn't. I just had to tell somebody that the other day. I said, look, I got magic books, but I don't read them to study magic. I read them to show people that they don't even know they doing it. What people don't understand is the angels that fell were there in the beginning and during the creation of man, so they know what these positions do and symbolize and what they're meant for. Come on. Yes, because I also asked about the lost book, and she said, well, if it's not in there, it's for a reason. Okay. So Yomani, I need you to go find you a 1611. See what that say right there? The year 1611. Mm. They got them on Amazon. The original. Not the original Bible, but the original King James. Interesting. You hear me? See what they got to say. What you gonna say to that? Huh? Because they're not telling people the truth. When they say you don't add or take away, you're literally reading out of the taken away version of the Bible. There's other information. You definitely need to be reading 2nd Baruch. Hello, or Baruch period. Hello. It's scary. And what's really scary is most of us too allowed ourselves to be deceived for a long time. We did. We was amongst them. We allowed ourselves to be deceived as well. Because I remember people tried to tell me in my early 20s, it's more books to the Bible, and I used to say no. God was trying to put me on in my early 20s, probably 21, 22, 23, and I would not hear it. Because I was so indoctrinated to what my pastor or my organization was saying that I couldn't hear nothing else. But I'm grateful he took the earplugs out of my ears. You hear me? I'm grateful he did. Very grateful. Very, very, very grateful. Because with all that is going on right now, and the way that the devil is deceiving people, which I think gonna happen when we don't have no access to internet or nothing. Hold on, y'all. I am flashing like crazy. I don't know if it's the tea or what. Goodness gracious. Sorry, y'all. I need to turn my little dollar store light off. My job is training for cashless devices only. Are you serious? Wait a minute. Where you work? Can I take a picture of that? Because when I be trying to send, I be sending this stuff to people. They don't be believing me. Where you work? McDonald's in Alabama? And y'all want to be exclusive? We need this information. So you ain't gonna be able to go in McDonald's with no money. Who remembers me saying hurry up and take your money out before it ain't no good and you can't use it to buy nothing? No way. Think it has anything to do with next month? It's looking like we not about to be able to go in those stores, family. Hurry up. If you got money in your 401k, you need to snatch that mess out and go and get your stuff. Hurry up. You go to a cashless laundromat. Oh my goodness. I just quit my job today because I manage social media and they're requiring everyone to get the real ID. You just got back from a company-wide orientation. So now y'all, okay, you work managing social media. Oh my goodness. You said we have tried to take our money out of our 401k and they won't let us unless you have proof that adds up to the amount. I'm looking like, but this is my money. How can you restrict me from getting my stuff? Queen, did we talk about it? A lady told me this morning there's several Chick-fil-A's here in OKC that's cashless as well. She was upset because all she had was cash. I'm about to go find these batteries. I'm about to go find these damn. You just give me a moment here. Let me see what I got here. I know I got some of these. I'll be right back. Where is these batteries at? I feel like they put up. I'm just gonna pretend. I'm gonna go get me some batteries today. People of the United States of America, I need you to listen and listen good. Get your stuff ready right now. Queen, did we talk about them not letting y'all get y'all money? When you needed it. You said a friend said they're making it real hard to withdraw her 401k. We are going to pray that God opens up a door for everybody to get their 401k. Look for the loopholes. Ask God to send you the loopholes because there is one. Hell, can you take out a loan against your 401k for the amount? And I'm not saying do it, but is that a loophole? People take out loans against their 401k all the time. Ain't that where they're going to go get the money from? It's my money and I need it now. Commercial never felt so real. Hello. That's what the rich folks do. Ain't that where they gonna go get the money from, the 401k, if whatever happened with the loan? And I'm not saying do that, but is that an option? It's something to look into. I ain't saying do it, but because he about to crash the market again. Here, my coworker was only able to take a percentage out of hers. Taking out a loan was an option for her. Okay. I mean, if that's where they're going to get the money, I'm just saying, if they making it, you said you can, I think, depending on how much you have. I have up to 6 months. However, if you have one out, you can't do another. Okay. Yeah, we about to pray that God. You said I just found some 401k money through Retirement Clearinghouse. Pulled it out. Checked for them past jobs. They said go to Clearinghouse. I went to a public event and it was cashless. This man gave me cash to purchase him a pizza. Wow. You got a kid, don't you, that need a car? Because you can say you got to buy your kid a car and then spend $3 and go get a Hot Wheels. You bought him a car. You never said what kind. Ain't that what it's used for? You got a 16-year-old and they be needing vehicles. Get him a Hot Wheels. And get your money. You didn't lie. You bought him a car. Hello. You didn't lie. You can go buy him a model car of the car that you look here. I'm just saying. You just need access to your money. That's what they be using 401ks for. Sound like my mama when I was a kid. I asked for a new Game Boy. She bought me her old one from when she was a kid. I said, this ain't new. She said, it's new to you. This part. The kicker for me, CERCA, they told me I can't get my own money out to pay my bills, but they will pay my student debt. I'm looking like, what the hell? I'm trying to live right now. Listen. You said the Hello Kitty bus is about 400. Cunning as a serpent and nice as a gentle dove. I'm trying to tell you, Queen, look through every loophole you can. Go through every loop. They find the loopholes. Take your time and go through every loophole. They asked me for all types of documentation just so I can take the money out to pay my rent. Then they had to verify it. Thank you, God. We're going to say it together. Thank you, God, for everybody that need to get they what you call it out for a loophole. We praying for loopholes. Y'all go looking for the loopholes. Look into every single, because they know the loopholes. They just not going to tell you about them. Uninformed is what they like. Go find them loopholes. Because it's always, they put the loopholes in there for them. We thanking God for a loophole. You hear me? And it's got to be one. We just ain't found it yet. Ask God to guide you straight to the loophole. Go look through all your papers. I don't care if you got to ask Chat GPT. That Chat GPT might know exactly where it is. And I don't condone that. But Chat GPT be giving folks answers. You hear me? Yes. 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 Chat GPT be giving up the answer. So you might have to go over there and find it. Because it's one somewhere. They make the loopholes for themselves. We just don't be knowing about it. But wait, there's more. So they granted me exactly how much I needed for my rent. However, they took 30% out. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, this not even the full amount. So that was stupid. Listen, I need you to say thank God for the loophole and get on it as soon as possible. But we talked about them not letting y'all take y'all money out. We talked about it. Come on. In real life. God got it. He know what he doing. But sometimes we have to be diligent in seeking. You hear me? Sometimes we have to be diligent in seeking. Listen, God knew. He knew that they was going to do this. And the reason they not letting people take their money is because they getting ready to try to take it out. Because they're betting on the market to crash. That's why they're crashing it, because they're going to make an S ton of money when the market crashes. And everybody else will lose. Listen, God, you hear me? For real. Yes. This is the thing. We are getting ready to go through some tough times. All of us. Do you understand? This is the part that if you endure to the end. Okay? But it hasn't even gotten as bad as it's going to get. You said I took my money out and they took 30% too. I'd rather have 30% of my money gone and my 70 than zero. Hell, I'll take 50 over nothing. 50 over they gonna take it and I never get to use even the 50. You see what I'm saying? Because you already see where this is going. Look how many people lost their money in the beginning of the year. Millions. 12 million, 8 million, 7 million, 2 million, $20 million. Me too, at 19, but I got scared of the real info. And I'm grateful. Listen. Listen. Okay? I'm not going to keep y'all. They took 38% when I pulled my 401k. I was mad but grateful that I had something. This part. This. Because they get ready to try to take folks' money. That's the percent they take out of everyone's. My mom told me when I asked. Interesting. Listen, God knows what he's doing. You hear me? He knows exactly what he's doing. Because in a minute, you're not going to have access to it anyway if you don't have the ID. You hear me? Listen, having them take $30,000 out, but you still get your 70 is better than them taking all of your money. Period. I don't care what nobody say. And I know what you're saying, but 30% them taking it compared to you not getting any of it, we don't got millions to lose. We don't got hundreds of thousands of dollars to have nothing. I'd rather have $70,000 than $100,000 and I can't access it. You said, and now folks can't get any. Exactly. Exactly. So, I love y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all. Those of you that have been having a problem, ask God to lead you to the loophole. Okay? And I might come back on later. I do want to try to put some color in this hair and retwist my hair because I've been looking crazy for a minute. If you have a ton of money in the bank, I might get a little bit out, or at least go get the stuff that you need. This is the thing. Seeing as how you're going to have to show your ID to do everything, I would be trying to purchase everything that I need before. I'm not saying blow all your money, but things that you know you're going to need, like food, toilet paper, water, all of the stuff, just in case you are not able to get out and go to the store. That's what you need to have in your house. If you have a garage, get you one of them screens where when you let it up, you know, you can bag the car out and it goes in and it snaps or something. You hear me? If you have to put up hang something from the ceiling in your garage that hides that back part, you know, whatever. But you need to have what you need. He said, oh, don't even say retwist, because my son still need one too, and I'm styling, girl. Me too. I ain't did nothing. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take out some time and do it. I am. I got to finish one load of laundry. I got to fold some laundry and stuff, so. Okay. My thing is this. You need to have what you need before you can't access it. They take it. Or you're not even able to get into the store. Period. Okay? And I know it's a stressful time. It's a stressful time for everybody, y'all. Believe it. But I ain't going to say it's a stressful time. It's not a stressful time. It's a little unnerving. But God has been training us. And so then we just have to get ready. Okay? Wow. You said I've started not even taking my son to the store with me. I leave him with this very overprotective auntie, get what I need, and come back. It's too crazy for a kid to be out this part. Yes. Yes. Okay? Okay? So, let's get on it. Let's do what we can. And we just gonna move on. We gotta do something, though. Okay? You hear me? I love y'all. I see y'all later.